In the beginning, before cities, before nations, before history had a name, there was a garden, a place of peace, a place without fear. The Bible tells us that God formed Adam from the dust of the ground, not from gold, not from stone, but from simple earth. Have you ever wondered what the very first days on earth were like? Before the hustle and bustle, before cities and cars, there was a garden, not just any garden, but a place of perfect peace and breathtaking beauty. This was Eden. And at its heart was the first man, Adam. Imagine waking up every day to the soft chirping of birds you've never heard before, the gentle rustle of leaves in a breeze that's always just the right temperature. This was Adam's world. He walked through lush greenery, with flowers of every color imaginable blooming at his feet. Crystal clear rivers flowed through the land, their waters shimmering under a sun that was always warm but never scorching. The air was pure, filled with the sweet fragrance of blossoms and damp earth. But Adam wasn't alone in this. Paradise, the garden, was teeming with life. Majestic lions with magnificent manes would rest peacefully near gentle lambs. Graceful giraffes would stretch their long necks to nibble on the highest. The animals were afraid of him, and he wasn't afraid of them. They would gather around him, their curious eyes watching his every move. There was a unique harmony, a connection between man. Then came a truly special task. God brought all the animals to Adam, one by one, to see what he was looking at. A massive creature with a long trunk and floppy ears, and thinking, being a creature with brilliant, colorful feathers and seemed to fit it perfectly. This wasn't just a simple chore. It was an act of creativity, of partnership. Adam was helping to shape the world, to bring order and identity through this process. He learned about each of the plants, the tiny hummingbird flitting from flower to flower. Each one was a masterpiece, and Adam was the first to recognize and name them. And in the cool of the day, something even more wonderful would happen. A gentle light, a warm... In the beginning, there was a garden, a paradise more beautiful than anything we can imagine. It was called Eden, and it was a place of perfect harmony, lush. Vibrant green spread as far as the eye could see, and sunlight filtered through the leaves, dapping the filled with the scent of blossoming flowers and the sweet sound of birdsong. This was a world untouched by sorrow or pain, a sanctuary crafted by the hand of the Creator. At the very heart of this magnificent garden stood the special trees. One was the tree of life, its branches reaching high into the heavens, its leaves shimmering with a gentle, life-giving light. To eat its fruit was to live forever. Nearby stood another tree, just as beautiful but with a different kind of allure. This was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A subtle, mysterious glow seemed to pulse from its branches, drawing the eye and sparking curiosity. Its fruit was the one thing in all of Eden that was forbidden. Into this perfect world, the first man, Adam, was placed. He was given the task of tending the garden, naming the animals, and enjoying the boundless wonders around him. He walked with lions and lambs, his days filled with purpose and joy. Yet, amidst all this splendor, the Creator saw that it was not good for man to be alone. So, as Adam slept, a companion was formed from his own side, bone of his bone and flesh of his flesh. When Adam awoke, he saw her, the first woman, Eve. She was his perfect counterpart, and in that moment, solitude vanished forever. Together, they were the caretakers of Eden. They walked hand in hand through sun-dappled groves, their laughter echoing through the trees. They shared meals of sweet, luscious fruit from every tree but one, their hearts completely open and innocent, knowing no shame or fear. Their days were a beautiful dance of companionship and shared discovery in a world designed just for them. This was their life in harmony, a pure and unbroken connection with each other and with their Creator. They were the pinnacle of creation, living in a state of grace, their future stretching out before them like an endless, sunlit path. The garden was their home, their world, and their love for one another was as natural and effortless as the river that flowed through Eden, watering the ground and giving life to everything it touched. It was a time of pure, unblemished bliss, a perfect beginning. But the presence of that one forbidden tree, with its quiet, glowing invitation, cast a long, subtle shadow over their paradise, a silent question waiting for an answer. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. See you in the next video. In the heart of a perfect garden, a world of vibrant green and sun-drenched days, lived Adam and Eve. Their home was a paradise, a place where everything was provided for them. And their only instruction was simple: enjoy everything. But do not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For a time, this was their reality, a life of pure innocence and blissful harmony with nature and each other. They walked with God in the cool of the day, their hearts light and free from care. But one day, a subtle shift occurred in this idyllic world. A serpent, described as more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made, slithered its way to the forbidden tree. It found Eve there, perhaps admiring the tree's beauty, its fruit gleaming like jewels among the leaves. The serpent's voice was like a whisper on the wind, smooth and persuasive. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? It asked, planting the first seed of doubt. Eve, honest and direct, corrected the serpent. We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say, you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die. Here, the serpent made its move. A direct contradiction to the one rule they had been given. You will not certainly die, it hissed, its words dripping with false assurance. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. The words hung in the air, a tempting promise of power and wisdom that was just out of reach. Eve looked at the fruit. It was beautiful, pleasing to the eye, and the serpent's promise made it seem desirable for gaining wisdom. She hesitated, her mind a whirlwind of confusion and desire. The simple trust she had known began to fray. From a short distance, Adam watched. He saw the serpent, heard its deceptive words, and saw the conflict on Eve's face. He was her partner, her other half, yet he remained silent. An observer in this pivotal moment. Eve's hesitation gave way. She reached out her hand, her fingers closing around the smooth skin of the fruit. The decision was made. She took a bite. The taste, perhaps sweet, was instantly followed by a profound and irreversible change. She then turned and offered some too. Adam, who was with her, and he, without protest, also ate. In that instant, the world they knew shattered. It wasn't a loud explosion, but a deep internal shift. The sunlight seemed to dim, the vibrant colors of the garden muted to darker, somber tones. A cold wind rustled the leaves, carrying with it a sense of foreboding and loss. Their eyes were opened, just as the serpent had promised, but what they saw was not a glorious new reality. They saw themselves, and for the first time, they felt shame. Their innocence was gone, replaced by a raw, uncomfortable awareness of their own vulnerability. They scrambled to cover themselves, sewing fig leaves together to make coverings. The easy, open relationship they had with each other and with their Creator was broken. When they heard the sound of God walking in the garden, they hid. The joy of His presence was replaced by fear. The choice was made, the fruit was eaten, and paradise was lost. The consequences of that single act of disobedience would ripple through time, changing the course of humanity forever. This story of a simple choice and its profound impact reminds us of the fragile nature of innocence and the heavy weight of knowledge. Thank you for watching. If this story read in the heart of a perfect garden, a world of vibrant green and sun-drenched days, lived Adam and Eve. Their home was a paradise, a place where everything was provided for them. Do not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For a time, this was their reality, a life God in the cool of the day. One day, a subtle shift occurred in this idyllic world. A serpent, described as more crafty than any of the wild, perhaps admiring the tree's beauty, its fruit gleaming like jewels among the leaves. The serpent's voice was like a whisper on the wind, smooth and persuasive. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Eve, honest and direct, corrected the serpent. We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say, you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden. The serpent made its move. A direct contradiction. You will not certainly die, it hissed. God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. The words hung in the air, a tempting promise of power and wisdom that was just out of reach. Eve looked at the fruit. It was beautiful, pleasing to the eye, And the serpent's promise made it seem desirable for